Well, and you guys had the script for Menace to Society, but then you went to go see my favorite hood film of all time, American Me. And you said, oh, we gotta fix this. And I mean, I'm glad your brother said this because I've been saying this for years. American Me, I think, was the most impactful hood film ever.
Just give Edward James Olmos his props, his flowers right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the greatest gangster films of all time.
100%.
I think way better than Menace, way better than Boyz n the Hood. And I'll keep going. People will insult me. I don't give a fuck. I think American Me is over all those hood films in the 90s.
Incredible. Incredible.
And incredibly real.
Because it was based on a very true story, but they ended up changing some of the details on it to the point where 10 people end up getting killed over this film. Like Danny Trejo came in and talked about this whole situation. You know what I'm saying?
I saw that interview.
Yeah, there was a hit on Edward James
Edward James Olmos'
head. Yeah, like he had to carry a gun. Like the Mexican mafia really wanted to kill him because they showed the leader getting raped in juvie, which was not true from what I understand, but they decided to take that poetic license. And
from what I understand, some of the people featured in that movie, like I think like got killed because of them being in that movie.
4 out here and about, I think 6 in prison.
6 people got killed over American Me.
Yeah, probably about
just being
8.
part of it.
Yeah, but it was funny because I remember Donald Garcia, another Mexican mafia that got out and turned Christian, just straight out said, you know, they were talking about no, and he go, yeah, that falls on you, Eddie. You know, so
okay.
So you've got to be the power of cinema. You got to be really careful.
Yeah.
You know, wait a minute, and I don't mean am I offending somebody? No, you just got to be real careful about telling the truth. Okay, the leader of the Mexican mafia was never raped.
Yeah. And I've always said this in my interviews, watching those rape scenes in prison made me say, as a kid, I'm never going to prison. And I've never been to prison.
Yeah, outside
because of that film.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't really have family that were in and out of jail.
Well, when you saw that knife with those
when I saw that,
yeah.
I said, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
But when you saw American Me as a filmmaker, what'd you think?
It was incredible. And what had happened was when we were shopping Menace, it got picked up by New Line. It was all overnight craziness, how that movie happened, right? Then the 2 producers of New Jack City, Doug McHenry and George Jackson, I forgot their names. They had just done New Jack City a year or 2 before, right? Boyz n the Hood had already come out. Juice had already come out, right? They decide, these 2 black producers who we thought would be kind of like, not mentors of ours, but, you know, good with us. They call up the head of New Line and say, you can't make that movie. That's a bad movie. It's a bad reflection of black people, blah, 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 blah. So Bob Shea decides to put the movie on hold while we're in prep. And this is when we see American Me, right? So while we're down for a couple weeks, he has 2 notes for us. Make it more emotional. And that scene where he's making crack, can you make it less how to make crack? Because it was step by step how to make crack. Like literally, you can learn how to make crack. We're like, okay, fair enough, right? Then we go meet those 2 producers and go at them at the Warner Brothers commissary. Like we have a sit down with them and we say, the fuck you guys doing? We're trying to make a movie here. We're trying to make a career. They're like, well, if you guys want to do reality, you should make fucking documentaries. And we're like, well, fuck you guys. And we just got out of there, right? Cut to, we now got our Swamp Meat Menace hats, right? We go see American Me. And we were like, what is this? The credits roll. It was my brother, Tiger Williams, the writer, and me. We stand, we take our hats off and like, respect. Then we go rewrite Menace to make it more hard. Because the headline at the time when we were doing, before we even made the movie, this is how crazy we were. There was Hollywood Reporter and Variety saying, we're going to make Boyz n the Hood look like Mary Poppins. Okay. Because we had big mouths back then. We're coming out of hip hop culture and we didn't want to be compared to John. We didn't want to be compared to Spike. So we were just popping off, right? Then you got Eazy-E in our ear, you know? So we see American Me and we're like, wow, this is making everybody look like Mary Poppins. And to this day, it's making Menace look like a Mary Poppins. It's making, you name it, New Jack, Juice, Boyz n the Hood. It's a better, more real film than all those films.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, and we talked about this with your brother. Eazy-E, was he really supposed to be O-Dog?
Yes.
Was that really like really cast and going forward? And
No, not at that point. It was like, I remember distinctly that, of course, everybody knows we modeled a lot of that stuff off of Goodfellas. The narration, O-Dog is like Joe Pesci. Scorsese was our hero. We were developing the script while we were hanging out our summer with Eazy-E. So while O-Dog is being written, we're telling Eazy, we want you to be this character. We give him the script at the Norwalk house. He sits in it for a few days. We go back to the Norwalk house. He grabs the script. He throws it over on the side and goes, nah, I'm good. I'm doing my own thing. He was developing a script called Backstabbers with this other guy, Whitmore, I forget his name, writer-director guy. And also my brother was correct about Jerry and Eazy were trying to keep us in their stable. And my brother and I were so ambitious. That's the other story I gotta get to. It's like that compound up in Calabasas where Eazy lives here, Jerry lives here, and Dre lives over here. At that point, we'd been spending most of the summer with Eazy, and I'm like, Alan, we're in this game to direct. We can't be hanging out with Eazy all day. He's like, you're right. Let's go up to Eazy's house. So we go up to his house and tell Eazy that. My brother tells him straight up. Eazy said, get in the car. We get in the car. He drives around the front of Dre's house, stops to 850 there, jumps out, goes in Dre's house, comes out, counts out $1,000 to both of us and goes, will that hold you over for a while? And my brother's like, yeah, okay. But also I remember we were at Jerry's backyard one day and he was in his sweats. And because we had big mouths and we would say what was on our mind, we said something to Jerry, but it was all in jest. And he literally pulls out a 25 and points it at my brother.
A gun?
Like, yeah, like,
really?
What the fuck you say? What'd you say?
Really?
What'd you say? And now in hindsight, you know what they were dealing with, the Suge of it all. And even though Dre's still around the corner and even though Eazy's driving over there to get money, it's weird to look back on now because they didn't really have the clean break that everybody thinks they had. It wasn't like that, no. Okay. But yeah, see, the answer to your question, I wouldn't have meandered.
Yeah, it's all good.
It was kind of written with him in mind. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I could see him working. I mean, obviously, Lorenz Tate killed it.
Yeah,
but
it would have been a different character.
It would have been a different character.
Yeah.